run shape. And then it's
Well, a continuation of our day of tennis here at Stoke Park. Second day of the Beatles 2018. Started with a victory for Liam Brodie, his second in as many days. This one coming against Sergei Stakhovsky, 7-5, 4-6, 10-2. Now we see the return of Boodle's favourite, Juan Martin Del Potro, making his bow in 2018 up against America's Taylor Fritz.
Right, the next match on court is between... They'll be here in about 2 minutes' time. It's between the Argentine. I'm sure there are a lot of fans in the audience. Juan Martin Del Potro is up against the American Taylor Fritz. Oh, they're here. They're here. Gentlemen, would you like to come on court, please? Give them a round of applause, ladies and gents. Juan Martin Del Potro and Taylor Fritz. I'm going to start with Taylor and give you a little bit of information about his playing career. 20 years of age, 68 in the world rankings. He got to his first top 10. He got his first top 10 win last year over Marin Cilic at Indian Wells. He reached his first ATP final in 2016 in Memphis, and he was the youngest ATP finalist in 8 years. Both of his parents are actually tennis professionals. He's played some solid tennis this year, reached the 4th round at Indian Wells, which is a Masters 1000 event. If you're new to tennis, that's the level just below the Grand Slams. He's played Wimbledon twice. He's directly into the main draw this year, ladies and gents. Round of applause. He had to qualify last year because he's risen up the world rankings. He's risen 60 spots in a year. That is Taylor Fritz. His opponent today is Juan Martin Del Potro. He's won many of the biggest titles in the sport, including the 2009 US Open, back-to-back Olympic silver medals in London 2012 and Rio 2016, as well as playing a pivotal role in helping claim Argentina's first Davis Cup title at the end of 2016. Obviously, there have been a few injuries along the way, but he's back bigger and better than before, reaching the semi-final at Roland Garros, and he's heading back to the top of the world rankings. Ladies and gents, it's Juan Martin Del Potro. Enjoy the game.
So there's the introduction to the two players. Let's hear what they have to say at the toss.
Two-time break set, you know. Everyone said, oh, it's a temple. They like to throw head or a towel. So that's pretty good. That's a good one.
So Taylor Fritz, at 20 years of age, in his 3rd year on the tour, his year-to-date record 110, lost 7, ranking of 68 as we heard. His best of 53 came back at the tail end of 2016, back in August then. Coached by Paul Annacone and David Nenken. So far this season on the grass, he lost in the 2nd round of qualifiers for Queens, and he was out in the 1st round in Stuttgart, made the round of 16 in Surbiton. So he's had plenty of practice already on the grass, certainly more grass court tennis than we've had from Juan Martin Del Potro so far. On the clay, went out in the 1st round of Roland Garros against Andreozzi in 5 sets. He was twice leading in that match. He was a quarter-finalist in Lyon, went out in the qualies in Rome and Madrid. Semi-finalist, though, in Houston. And then on the hard courts, a 4th round appearance in Indian Wells. Lost to Borna Coric there after wins over Opelka, Rublev and Verdasco. Quarter-finalist in Delray Breach as well, which included a win over Sam Querrey, who we're going to see in action later on today. And he won the Newport Beach Challenger back in January. Fell in qualies for the Australian Open, and he's never won a match at Wimbledon, beaten by Stan Wawrinka in the 1st round in 2016 and by John Isner at the same stage last year after coming through the qualifying rounds. His opponent is one of the legends of the sport, 29 years of age. He stands 1.98 meters tall. In his 13th year on tour, his win-loss ratio so far this season, 28-7. His ranking of number 4 in the world equals the best he's ever achieved in the ATP World Rankings. He first achieved that ranking back on the 11th of January 2010. Coached by Sebastian Prieto, he hasn't played a match on grass yet. Semi-finalist at Roland Garros, losing to Rafa Nadal after winning against Marin Cilic and John Isner, amongst others, en route to the last four at Roland Garros. He was knocked out in the third rounds in Rome and Madrid. Semi-finalist in Miami on the hard courts. He won Indian Wells, of course, up against Roger Federer in the final. Won Acapulco, where he beat both Sasha Zverev and Kevin Anderson en route to the title. He was knocked out in the third round of the Australian Open after being a finalist in Auckland, losing to Roberto Bautista Agut. His best appearance at Wimbledon, a semi-final back in 2013. Many of you, I'm sure, will remember that epic encounter with Novak Djokovic, which eventually saw the Serb come through in 5.
3 minutes.
We've seen little of the pink stuff over the last 24 hours, but there is our first images of either Kir Royales or pink champagne. Not sure which it is. Haven't seen any cassis on sale, so I'm going to opt for the latter. Plenty of Pims as well. Our umpire for this one, Ted Watts, already done the toss of the coin and all set in his position with his familiar baseball cap in place. It is another beautiful day here at Stoke Park for the Boodles 2018. It's 17th year and the temperature up to 28 degrees centigrade, which is as warm as it was yesterday at its peak. Healthy breeze in the air, which will offer some respite from the warm conditions for the players and also give them something to think about out on this centre court.
2 minutes.
The fans certainly have managed to pack into the stands here for this one. Eager anticipation of getting to watch Juan Martín del Potro, one of the greats on court. Plenty of hats on display and fans as well, as Juan Martín del Potro prepares himself for this opening match on grass. He's played here at the Boodles for the last few years to try and get himself in prime condition for playing at Wimbledon. Definitely would say that grass is one of his least favourite surfaces, in spite of the fact that he's managed to get through to the semi-finals at Wimbledon before. His game can be suited to the grass depending on just how agile he's feeling. Always has the ability to make it look as though he is at his last ebb, lethargically moving around the court, but that forehand, well, when it gets going, is a thing of wonder and beauty.
1 minute.
Taylor Fritz, originally scheduled to play in the last match of the day today up against Malik Jaziri, but has been drafted in place of Sasha Zverev, who, although playing at the Boodles this year, isn't going to be coming up against Juan Martín del Potro, not today anyway. We'll have confirmation of tomorrow's order of play a little later on. Taylor Fritz, the man who won the toss, he's elected to serve. It is our second match of day 2 here at the Boodles 2018. Taylor Fritz against Juan Martín del Potro. Well, the buzz has gone around the hospitality areas and people are quickly trying to make their way to their seats to ensure that they get to watch this one. Time is called. Taylor Fritz making his way out onto court. Juan Martín del Potro, very relaxed. Comes out now. Let's see exactly how
Seats,
his
please,
preparation for Wimbledon
Taylor
can get
Fritz
underway.
to serve. First set. Play. Vivian.
Fritz off the mark with an ace.
15 all. Fritz.
So Fritz with an exemplary service game to kick off. And I think we could be in for much of the same. Both of these players possessing big serves and on the grass. That should mean some cheap points.
Juan Martin del Potro to serve.
Put.
15 love. Coming.
Just unable to guide that back in, but encouraging signs for Fritz here. He's not being blown away by the Del Potro serve. That's a better service. Right on the baseline.
Game, Del Potro.
And even the second serve too hard for Fritz to handle. So
1 game all.
a love service game for Juan Martin Del Potro as we race through the opening 2 games. Oh, great pass. First time he's been able to manoeuvre himself into position. It wasn't the worst approach, very deep. Nothing he could do about that.
Love 30.
And Del Potro able to apply a little bit of pressure here at love 30. Now, what will he do here? Will he look to pose the question of Fritz, or will he look to unleash one? Quite happy to rally with the youngster and just pose the question, and Fritz, unable to respond, comes up with the unforced error. 3 break points for Juan Martin Del Potro. Well put away. 1 saved.
40.
United States of America obviously not at the Football World Cup this summer. Knocked out by Panama, who haven't been that strong. Had an issue with this yesterday. Now Potro coming in to help out. I'm not entirely sure they have the same system at Wimbledon, but I might be wrong. Just a quick check now of the
Court
net
repairs
height.
complete.
And everyone's happy. So
Taylor Fritz to serve, 15-40, first serve.
pause in the action comes to an end. Still a couple of breakpoint chances here for Juan Martín del Potro.
Out. 30-40.
One more. Oh, that was a lovely shot from Del Potro. Saw Fritz coming in and just took some of the pace off the ball, got it to dip in awkwardly on the young American. And the opening break of the match goes the way of the Argentine. Just getting in there. Great reactionary play from Del Potro, reading the game so well.
It's 2-1 first. Time.
Turn the bottle, not the cork. Del Potro looking to
Thank you, ready to play.
reinforce his advantage here. Has a little glance up at the sun, which will be in his eyes from this end.
15 love.
Yet to lose a point on serve, Del Potro.
Let yourself.
So Fritz puts it away. Earns himself his first point on the Del Potro serve.
15 all.
Patient waiting and good accuracy on the overhead. Be a confidence booster.
30-50.
And then the ace serve from Del Potro just immediately puts him back in front.
40-50.
Just long. So 2 game points.
Next. First serve.
Oh, it's a good finish. There was some extraordinary spin at the start of that rally. Total mishit from Taylor Fritz, which kicked back into Del Potro. Had to change his body position as a consequence, meant he wasn't able to put too much on the backhand volley.
I'm behind you on the floor.
And that opened it up for Taylor Fritz.
Game.
But too good on that serve. And as a consequence, Delpo takes his second service game, leads 3-1.
Love.
Well, Fritz served very well from this end in his opening service game. Took for the loss of just 1 point. And that's nicely put away.
30 love.
An ace to make it 40 love.
Game Fritz.
Love service game for Taylor Fritz.
Potro leads 3 games to 2.
But Juan Martin Del Potro is a break to the good in this opening set. Leads 3-2. Never looked particularly perturbed, looking very relaxed here.
Time.
Push long.
Below 15.
That's exactly what Fritz has to do. Any opportunity he gets on the Del Potro serve to get a look at it, he has to make full advantage. He did on that point. Can't there though.
15 all. 30-50.
Bit of a late call. Too good. Not really a lot that Fritz can do about that. Couple of game points for a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, Del Potro.
Del Potro takes the 6th game, confirms once again that break, and it was from this end with Fritz serving into the sun that Del Potro struck early in the match to get the first break. Can he get a second here?
Out. 15 love.
Had to get down low to big dig that one out, and Fritz fails. Such great depth on all of the ground strokes there from Del Potro, and Fritz once again is the first to fold. Just can't control it as Del Potro just accelerates through the forehand after a fantastic return of serve again, and he earns himself another 2 break points.
Net for serve. And 30-40.
Saves one. He managed to save a couple in the last game, but not all of them. It's pulled wide, and Del Potro gets the comfort of a double break in the opening set. He leads 5 games to 2 and will serve to seal this opening set in a few moments' time.
Time. Thank you. Ready for play.
New balls for Del Potro to serve here. With an extra bit of zip, give him an advantage.
Love 50. Love 30.
First waiver here from Del Potro on his own serve.
Love 40.
Wild miss hit off the frame, and it's triple breakback chance.
Fritz.
It was poor execution from Del Potro, who looked surprised when Fritz managed to dig out that sliced forehand. Just too much on that one, and it's a break to love. However, a double breakdown. Taylor Fritz still has work to do in this opening set.
Fifteen love. Thirty love.
Another ace, now 6 points in a row. Taylor Fritz.
Forty love.
Just wide. So a break to love, and then a love service game for Taylor Fritz.
Leads 5 games to 4.
Well, Martin Del Potro certainly didn't agree with that line call. Comes back in to sit down. He will have another opportunity to serve for that opening set.
Time.
So can he get another breaker serve here? 8 points in a row going the way of the young American. And he makes it 9.
15. Love 30.
Now 10 points in a row for Taylor Fritz, and Juan Martin Del Potro was looking good. Just can't buy a point.
Out.
15-30.
Finally brings that run to an end now. Can you get 3 more points to back it up? That's going to drift long.
30 all.
Just too much on it, and that is frustrating for Taylor Fritz, because he was in the box seat in this game at love 30. Now it's set point Del Potro.
Next, no serve.
Good serve. Can't be controlled by Fritz, and
Well
Juan
set,
Martin Del Potro puts behind him a poor run where he
16,
failed to win a point for 10. And allowed Taylor Fritz back into that opening set, but only momentarily, because Del Potro holds on and takes it 6 games to 4. So let's take a look at the statistics from that opening set. Juan Martin Del Potro with just the 1 ace as opposed to 6 from Taylor Fritz, who was very impressive, and a couple of double faults as well from Del Potro, both of them with 68% of their first serve, winning similar amounts on first serve. And on second serve, very little to decide between them. Del Potro creating more breakpoint chances, only converting 2 of the 5 though. And in total, both of them winning 25 points. So it was even, although it has to be said that other than that little wobble towards the end of the opening set, where Del Potro gave up 10 points in a row, he was in charge in the main. So he strides out back onto court, leading by a set to love.
Second set. Looking low.
Once again, just too much on it.
All.
Nicely rounded up.
13-15.
Nicely put away. Again from Taylor Fritz.
40-50.
Couple of game points in the opening game of this second set. To the net, just a little too nonchalant.
40-30.
Nonchalantly done, just a little too nonchalantly in the end. Still game point. Oh, that's a bad miss.
Juice.
And now suddenly pressure on Taylor Fritz. Can't get it. Great play from Del Potro. And Taylor Fritz from 40-15 now faces break point. Great slice, and when you're coming down from 1.96 m, that Del Potro is. Hard to get it back up, but that's smoothly played by Taylor Fritz under pressure.
Yes.
Finds the backhand down the line. Made that look easy. Been a few too many of those from Taylor Fritz. And Potro, we're going to look at the second serve. Reaches for it and makes it.
Yes.
Well, it was a really good return of serve from Del Potro, and I think he expected it to do better than it did. Just long. And Fritz gets game point again. It'll be his third of the game.
Advantage, Fritz.
Taylor Fritz is going to sit in the sun. Juan Del Potro decides to take a seat in the shade in the corner. Well, very important to keep up hydration on a day like today, and I think someone has just fainted in the crowd, so hopefully they will be receiving some medical attention as quickly as possible out there. Medic is present immediately to
Advantage, Fritz.
assist with that issue there in the stands.
Yay, Fritz.
Well, it's an important hold for Taylor Fritz in the end. Shame that those people walking into the stand at the back of the court couldn't wait until the end of the game, but anyway. Juan Del Potro had his opportunities there. Didn't make the most of the opportunities though, and that means that Taylor Fritz picks up the opening game of set number 2. Bit of liquid taken on board by both players. Del Potro ready to serve. Well, Del Potro certainly being asked some questions here.
Love.
On that occasion, he was able to find answers for Taylor Fritz.
Net for serve. Ball go. And 15 all.
Third double from Juan Martín del Potro, 2 in that opening set.
Oh. 30-50.
Fritz wide. He has been the one to try and up the ante on points throughout the match so far. Very disciplined performance from Juan Martín del Potro.
Game del Potro.
Del Potro with a comfy hold.
1 game more.
Starts in exactly the same way as we saw at the beginning of the first set.
Love.
It was tantalising. But Taylor Fritz was unable to get to it. I don't think you'll see Juan Martín del Potro play a shot like that at Wimbledon next week. Even then, Taylor Fritz couldn't make it.
Net for serve. $30.50. $40.50. Okay, Fritz.
Another solid hold in the end for Taylor Fritz. Moves up 2-1 then in this second set. Another slightly elongated pause as we await the centre of the net to be attached to the base once again, just making sure that that height is correct. Problem is that every time the net's been hit, they get weakened, and what we've seen so far in the opening 2 days is that they snap and then it all goes loose again. Not really a satisfactory solution. A temporary one, maybe. So, a member of the crowd who went down due to dehydration, looks as though they are being taken away. A precautionary measure here, and everything apparently is okay. Issue for the tennis players, though, who can't play as a consequence. So Martin and Potro having to try and stay as focused as possible. Time for a selfie or two up in the crowd. Plenty of those who've come in to watch, regretting the fact that they didn't bring some water, perhaps something a little stronger in Juan Martin del Potro leading by a set to love, currently on serve in the second set. Taylor Fritz leads 2-1. we wait for this member of the crowd who has fainted to be helped away by stretcher. Juan Martin Del Potro and Taylor Fritz both on their feet having a little conversation. Let's take a look back at some of the best moments from this match so far. Juan Martin Del Potro now has some shade and a little bit of company in the chair as well, able to have a bit of a conversation. Probably didn't expect to be getting a chance to chat with the world number 4 when she turned up for work today. Juan Martin Del Potro just starts to stretch off and limber himself up in anticipation. We might be getting underway again in a few moments' time. The member of the public who's on the stretcher is now down courtside and being helped on their way. So we wish that spectator a speedy recovery. We're reliably informed that
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.
Is
Resume play.
in perfectly good health. It's just a
Thanks.
precautionary measure that's being adopted there by the medics.
15 love. And 30 love.
Juan Martin Del Potro racing fourth.
And 40 love. 40-50.
Just long.
Game Del Potro.
Del Potro back to 2 games all.
2 games all.
And another quick fire game on serve. Just long.
15 love.
I felt that one had caught the line.
Dirty love.
Makes it again. Fine forehand from Fritz. And a chance for a love service game. Big smile after that one. And he reads Del Potro's attempted pass. Lovely volley to take us to 3-2.
This leads 3 games to 2.
Right at the beginning of the match, Del Potro passed him down that very line. Wasn't going to allow it to happen again.
And 15 love.
Not hanging around here, neither player. Well, we're having so many examples of what happens when you hit the top of the net on a grass court. And this is another. You would never get that in the North American hardcourt season. Oh, good shot. Exploded through that forehand and he enjoyed it. So did the crowd.
15-30. And 15-40.
Great return of serve. Right in at the feet of Del Potro. It's double break point. And again, what a return of serve this is from Fritz. 2 in a row. Rushing Juan Del Potro. And he goes a break to the good in the second set, leading 4-2.
4 balls in, please. Thank you. And And the ball's down the same goals. Ball go.
New balls again then.
Love 15. Love 30.
What a time to get this sort of reply from Del Potro.
Net.
Well, looking for the same sort of depth that Fritz put on him in his previous service game. Oh, he read it right, just couldn't get it back in play.
30 all.
From love 30 to 30 all then. But he attempts to flick
30,
that back
40.
into court and unable to do so. Break back point for Del Potro. Conversion rate of 2 out of 7 so far.
First serve.
Ace saves another. Eight aces, 2 in this set. 6 of them came in the previous one.
Net. First serve. Net. First serve.
Double fault.
Advantage, Del Potro.
And Del Potro will have a second breakpoint chance in the game. Fritz hasn't previously served any double faults. That could prove costly. Oh, that's too good, and Del Potro doesn't get anywhere near it.
Induce. Clear the ball, please.
Beautifully done. And that huge swing allows him to really fox his opponent on the approach. Del Potro, breakpoint number 3 of the game. Del Potro breaks back. And we're back on serve. Fritz leading 4 games to 3 in the second set. Del Potro up a set to love.
Time. Thank you. Love.
Well, what's been really impressive has been the depth on return of serve that we've seen from Fritz in this second set. Catches the line. Ace down the middle from Del Potro in reply. Only his second ace so far. Well, decided to come in behind that one, and Taylor Fritz produced the perfect return. Low down, nothing that Del Potro could do with the volley. Tidily done by Del Potro.
40-30.
Good volley again, and Del Potro makes it 4 games all in this second set. Now, what can Taylor Fritz do here? Broken in his last game, 2 games on the bounce now for Del Potro, and he's serving into the sun once more.
Love 15.
Well, that was wild from Del Potro, and that sort of return won't please him, especially love 15. Opportunity there on the second serve of Fritz to get up to love 30. Doesn't even make him play. Oh, well put away. Del Potro not getting quite the depth on the shots that he would have wanted. Still had to be made, though. First the backhand, putting the pressure on Del Potro, and then glorious winner.
40-50.
And another ace. Couple of game points for a 5-4 lead. Easy overhead. So, Taylor Fritz in the end of the hold from love 15 down on his own serve. Brings an end to that run of just a couple of games for Juan Martin del Potro. And Fritz leads on serve 5-4 in the second.
Time.
Del Potro serving then to stay in this second set. I'm entirely convinced that that was a good call. Let's take another look at it. Right on the line. Oh, that's a great return. Crunched.
Love 30.
Taylor Fritz 2 points away now from levelling this match at a set apiece.
Net. First serve. Love 40.
It is a double fault from Del Potro. It is triple set point to Taylor Fritz. Extraordinary language shot from Del Potro. He just perfects that nonchalance. Strolls in. That was 3 set points down. Still 2 set points down, but 1 saved. Does he put it long? No.
Game second set.
Fritz. Taylor Fritz takes us to a match breaker in our second match of the day.
6 games so far.
1 set apiece. Well, definitely earned that. Plenty of different hats
Time.
on show.
Ladies and gentlemen, now play a 10-point match tiebreak to decide the match.
Some protection from the sun. It is very warm out there. We've already had one member of the crowd faint because of sunstroke.
Thank you.
It is a match breaker. Fritz to serve first.
1-0, Fritz.
And the ace gives him a 1-0 lead.
2-0 Fritz.
First mini break goes the way of Taylor Fritz.
Fritz.
Taylor Fritz with a double mini break early on here in this match breaker. 3-0 up. That's a pretty wild miss hit.
4-0 Fritz.
And a drop as well. Now Potro needs to try and get a foothold.
5-0.
Not going to with serving like that. Another ace from Taylor Fritz. 5-0 he leads. One more point till the first change of ends. Del Potro on the board. But it is a long way back.
Six-one Fritz.
It's another mini break though for Fritz. And now he has two serves of his own, leading 6-1.
Balls down, please. Thanks. 4 goals. Six-two Fritz.
1 point on the Fritz serve, 1 back.
Seven-two Fritz.
Edge is closer. Knows he just needs 3 more points. And Martin Del Potro has to win these 2 on his serve. There's 1.
7-3 Fritz. And 7-4 Fritz.
So the first part of the job has been successfully negotiated there by Juan Martin Del Potro, but now can he apply some pressure on the Fritz serve? He needs to. Needs one of these next 2 points to hang in there. There's the first. And if he could get both, puts us back on serve.
Fritz.
Kind of seemed inconceivable
James.
just moments ago. Second change of ends. Dragged out wide. Fritz.
Inside Fritz.
Make sure he leads 8 points to 5. Del Potro once again needs both on serve. There's the first.
8-6.
And now this one
Fritz.
to close to just 1 point, and then that does apply the pressure back onto Fritz, even though he will be on serve.
Net.
But it's a double fault. That one was
Pressure.
wide of the line, no doubt about it.
You play the point for serve.
Oh, umpire said it's in. Reaches for it. Those long arms reaching out. Big point as Del Potro once again
7,
manages to
Fritz.
answer with 2 points on his own serve. And now, once again, needs one of these 2 service points at least. If you get both, obviously, give him match points. It is the first match point, though, to Taylor Fritz.
9-7.
Had only won 1 of the previous 6, but now with 2 match points. Decided to go all in
9-8.
and gave it too much.
Fritz.
Del Potro then, 8-9. Oh, that's too good. We're back to 9-all. And Del Potro with another serve as they change
9-all.
ends to give himself the chance of getting his first match point. 2 match points so far for Taylor Fritz. Both have been saved by this man. A serve when he needed it. Juan Martín Del Potro has his first match point, having saved 2. Just too short. It allowed Taylor Fritz the room to manoeuvre the ball out to that flank, and it dropped and died on Del Potro. 10 points apiece. Who will pick up the next match point? It'll be Taylor Fritz, match point number 3. Heavy.
11-all.
Heavy big serve from Del Potro. So that's 3 match points saved now. And the second created. Finds the big serves when he needs them. Match point number 2 for Juan Martín Del Potro. Once again on the Fritz serve.
Serve.
inches long. It was so close, and there was definite concern on the look of Taylor Fritz here. Just watch his face as this one goes over his head, but then relief as it goes beyond the baseline. So 12 points apiece. They change ends for the 4th time. Wondered if Martin Potro was going to suggest that they just left it on as even at 12 points apiece, but they're going to play on.
Got some balls, please, guys. Thanks.
Taylor Fritz will have a 4th match point.
Down to the left, please, guys.
But when Martin Del Potro again finds the big serve. Put away, and Del Potro with 2 clinical points on his serve again.
14-13, Del Potro.
And into the net.
Set match.
When Martin Del Potro, at the 3rd time of asking, converts in the match breaker. But he's been given a really good workout by Taylor Fritz in his opening match on grass here. We will hear, I'm sure, from Juan Martin in just a few moments' time as he is victorious.
Chat with Taylor to start. First off, brilliant, wonderful match. So many fantastic rallies. How does it feel to step on court playing against someone like Juan?
It's amazing. You know, when I heard I was going to be playing this this exhibition match with him, I was really happy. You know, he's someone I looked up to for a long time. He was actually my favorite player when I was growing up. So it's pretty cool to share the court.
There needs to be a hug. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What do you learn from him when you play against him?
Hit a lot of big forehands, you know. It's
Listen, it's fantastic to have you here. You've played Wimbledon a couple of times, and you've qualified for the main draw, which is brilliant. Give him a round of applause. He's playing Wimbledon next week. Look forward to that. Wimbledon's a whole different ballgame to being here at Boodles. Obviously, you love it here, but what is it like stepping onto the court at Wimbledon?
You know, Wimbledon's one of the most prestigious events in the world, so it's just it's a really big deal and a really big honor to play there. So, you know, I just go in there, and this is great practice, and hopefully I'll take some of the good rallies and the good shots I had today on the court at Wimbledon, and, you know, hopefully have a good tournament.
And very well said. And is this, would you say, the best crowd you've ever played in front of?
Of course, of course. I'm not just saying that.
I mean, they're gorgeous, aren't they? They're wonderful. I've also been asked to ask you, do you watch Love Island?
No. Well, last year I was playing a tournament, and the hotel I was at had no internet, so I was forced to watch TV. So for that week, I got really into it.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't continue on, to be honest.
No, stay away. So Taylor Swift, everybody, ladies and gents. Great to have you here. Oh, sorry. Taylor Swift. Did I just say Swift? Hi, my name's Di. You may know me from successful discontinued shows like Game Changers and Golf Night, available midnight till 5 a.m, channel 4078249936. Wow, I've just lost a whole lot of... just about. Do you know mine? No, you don't need to know mine. Juan, lovely to see you. Do you forgive me? Taylor, do you forgive me? Thank you. Shall we move on swiftly? Have I got some of you back? Juan, so good to see you back on grass. How are you feeling about your game right now?
I'm feeling good. It was my first match on grass, playing with this youngest player who made me run a lot. And I think I will be ready for Wimbledon. It's one of my favorite tournaments, and I'm looking forward to playing my best tennis there.
Great stuff. What about, it's always interesting to know the support network around a very successful sportsman. Do you come along with family, friends, coach? I mean, how big is your entourage?
Well, I have my team, a couple of friends who came just to support me. It's not easy for us when the World Cup is going on and we are far from Argentina. But anyways, England has a good team as well. And, but we are in round of 16. And we are so proud to have Messi and the rest of the players. So we wish them the best of luck.
Yeah, great news that Argentina are through the group stages, because it looked a little bit dodgy at one point. Juan, fantastic to have you here. What are your hopes for next week going into one of the Grand Slams?
Well, the first goal for all the players is try to reach the second week, and then everything can happen when you get there. But grass is one of my favorite surfaces, and I'm confident with my game, so I will try to enjoy the games, to enjoy the crowd, and I'm happy to see a nice weather in London.
Finally.
Yeah, finally, yeah.
And just a final question. There's a lady in the audience that wants to know what you're doing at the weekend.
Well, Argentina is playing on Saturday night.
She's a football fan.
Well, I will invite her to the house. I can cook. Yeah.
Her name's Sarah. She wants to know the exact address, so she'll get your number very shortly. I have her details and Instagram and Twitter address, so I can pass those on.
How old is she?
She's 26. She's very good looking. She's not here right now. She's hiding. But I will transfer the details. Ladies and gents, I do know his name. Put your hands together for Juan Martín del Potro. And also for the upcoming Taylor Fritz. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, there are the match statistics. Outstanding match that we were treated to. Second match here at the Beatles on day 2. Juan Martín del Potro coming through in the end, 15-13 in the match breaker, and getting some really good time out on the grass courts. A couple of matches to come. Next up, it's Querrey against Kyrgios.
In said match, Del Potro, 6-4, 4-6.
Well, Nick Kyrgios already makes his way out onto court, along with Sam Querrey.